Hey, what is going on, everybody? Ali here, back again with another video for you guys today for Somali and the Forest Spirit episode 6 review, and I freaking knew it. Not in the sense that that was like something that I didn't expect, but like overall, like I had a feeling that something happened where that human Hitora, I believe. I keep messing up his name. Like, Hitora, Uzoi's pretty much Uzoi's guardian for, like, the longest time. I figured something happened between him and, like, a harpy or something like that, and that's why there's feathers growing out of his eyes and stuff. But I didn't expect him that he ate Uzoi's mom. He ate her, or ate a piece of her or something, because we see his backstory that, like, his village that he was living in was pretty much ransacked by the, like, he calls the monsters, or like the humanoid creatures, like lizards and wolves, things like that, all of them. He calls them, or humans call them grotesques, which are the monster-looking creatures, and they pretty much pillaged his entire village or whatever. And just to hear, like, the horrifying things that happened, that, like, that it happened to him, to where, like, some of his family and friends, and even his daughter's friends and whatnot, were all being captured one by one. If they talked, I think they had their arms ripped off, or I don't know, but they tried to attack or talk or something like that, their arms ripped off. If they tried to run away, their legs were ripped off. And even sometimes the monsters or the grotesques just straight up ate people. And seeing that, of course he would be traumatized by seeing a harpy girl, to where, like, that they were able to find a cave, like him, his wife, and his daughter were able to find a cave to hide out for, like, a long time or whatever, right? So he's like, I gotta go out, we can't live like this forever, I gotta go out and find some food and such. So he went out there and saw a harpy girl picking berries or whatever. So he picks up a rock and just runs at her and beats the crap out of her with a rock. Like, it's like, in his situation, I completely understand what he's going through because of the trauma. Like, his village completely destroyed, everybody being taken and or eaten and whatnot, like, crazy. So I understand him going at this girl to just kill her. And then at the same time, I'm like, you could have just maybe captured her or tied her up and brought her into the cave to I don't know, converse in some way. But I completely understand his reasoning, which is very heartbreaking. Like, that I understand it. And then he said, we need to survive and do what the grotesques do, in that, let's eat this harpy. So all three of them ate the harpy, and then his wife starts coughing up feathers, and feathers start growing out of her eyes and everything, like, and she dies, and so does his daughter. And then after that, all of that, him crying, being traumatized by what just happened and what they tried to do, like, he was able to survive. That harpy's daughter, Zoey, walks into the cave, and she's the sweetest looking being ever. It's like, she's the cutest little girl, like, in the world, just standing there being like, mama, like, that whole situation is so heartbreaking, and it makes me so extremely sad. And that I understand him and what he was doing. But then, like, he sees this little girl come in, and he's like, what have I done? I took her mom away from her. Like, Bro, this is my favorite episode of Somali so far. And I think I've said this before in another review of Somali that this anime is my anime of the season. Like, 100%. Like, it's heartbreaking, this episode. It was sad, and it was also very understandable. And even the Golem, like, bro, the Golem is he's so good at understanding these situations now and everything. Like, he's developing so much with emotions and understanding situations. Like, it's crazy. It's awesome. And then, like, hearing about that, because the guy was talking to the Golem about what really happened, and that, like, he ate. Well, first of all, before this, the whole thing where Uzoi was trying to kill Somali, that was some, like, everything, the situation that happened, like Somali being able to get away and such, and then you got Uzoi using her wings to catch up to Somali and everything. Like, that animation was so good. Like, it was so amazing. It was grand. I loved everything about it. And just seeing Uzoi trying to fight her feelings, because you know that she's considers Somali like a friend, but at the same time she wants to do everything that she can to help Hitora. I keep forgetting his name. Hitora. Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's his name, but she wants to help him recover. All the while, this entire time, she never knew that he was lying to her the entire time. And he, like, in his head, he's like, the only ways I can atone for what I did is to pretty much die for Uzoi at some moment in time. And we saw that at the end. And then when she cried at the end, that broke me. And then finding out about what happened with his family broke me. This episode broke me in a lot of ways. I was crying. I was like, oh my gosh, this is traumatic, and this is very sad. This whole episode was very sad and everything. And when they were able to catch up to Uzoi and Somali was crying. She's like, what's going? Why are you doing this? Whatever. And then, bro, Somali is such a great friend and character in general, because when they caught up to Uzoi, Somali was like, she went in the water and saved me. She didn't do anything to me. Please, like, don't do anything, Dad. Like, talking to the Golem, and Golem's like, you know, Somali, you're safe. That's whatever, right? And just, again, like, the Golem and his understanding of the situation was so good. Like, his character was so good, being that, like, it's only natural that, like, it was only a natural situation that Uzoi was in that she wanted to save you and do everything that she can to save you. So everything is completely understandable. I'm not going to reprimand her or anything like that. Like, it makes sense to the situation of what was happening, that she would try to do something like this for you. And I was like, man, this Golem's becoming more and more of a human. I'm telling you, like, if he becomes a human at the end of the show, I'm like, hell yeah. Because I don't think he's gonna die at the end of the show. I think, like, this, again, like, I'm not gonna talk about it. This episode was so good in character development, not just the Golem, but there was a lot of it in Uzoi, when she found out that, like, the actual truth, when the Golem was conversing with her guardian about, like, what actually happened in the past, and that he ate her mom, and she was awake and found out, like she was listening in, eavesdropping. She found out, right? So she's so conflicted, because she loves him, just like what Somali said, and just what Uzoi said, talking about, like, what if our whole journey was a lie and such, or what if like the promise was a lie, and just talking about, like, what if everything was a lie and such. And Somali's like, but the love isn't a lie. And I'm like, girl, that's some wisdom dropping on our ass. Like again, like the journey might be a lie, but the genuine feeling that Uzoi has is real. The love that she has for him as her guardian or whatever is real. Like that's the most important thing. That's what Somali was trying to say. Like that's the most important thing. And I'm like, bro, Somali's great. Like she's fantastic. She's hilarious too and everything. Very perceptive about a lot of things. And the episode was amazing. And then like the whole sand thing with the sand tornado that happened, and that like Somali and Uzoi were thrown from the dragon twister, and they were about to be attacked by this, I don't know what this insect bird thing. It was really weird looking. And the Golem and Hitora, whatever, they were going to go and get them, but then Hitora, like he wanted to he thought that this was the way that was his atonement for what he did to Uzoi and her mother, and that like he was going to sacrifice himself so that like he gets killed. He believes that was the only way, is that he dies. And then Uzoi was like, nah, I ain't about this. So she jumps in and slices all these tentacle things like clean off of this monster. And then the Golem shoots the flare, and everybody gets saved. And then and when she cried, bro, like when Uzoi cried, she's like, for what happened, dying, don't take the easy way out. Don't take the easy way out and die. And like, you are going to atone for the rest of your life. We're going to be together for the rest of our lives. That's your punishment. And that's what you're going to deal with. Like, Zoe, she's such a great character. She had such great development. The Golem had great development. You see Somali crying right next to her dad, watching this whole thing unfold, and she gives him a big hug, and Uzoi gives him a big hug, her guardian a big hug and whatever. And it's such, this episode was so sad and heartbreaking to see Uzoi finding out the truth and that every single thing was a lie. But then at the same time, the love was still real, even though it was built on a lie. That love is still there in her heart, which was heartwarming, but it was also sad and such. And the whole fight, or not necessarily a fight, but that chase between Somali and Uzoi, like Uzoi chasing her in the beginning in that cave, and like, oh yeah, and Somali screamed or something in that cave, which ricocheted the sound, which really hurt Uzoi's ears, because Harpy's ears are heightened or whatever. So that was really smart on Somali's part, that she just screamed and then got out of there and then just tried to run away. And then Uzoi was like, bro, I feel like I'm just like rambling or something, but like, man, it was such a good episode. Just to finally see the backstory of that guy, because I knew something happened again, that he either like drank something or he had something with a harpy and something happened. But for some reason in my head, I didn't expect him to like eat her mother. But then at the same time, I'm like, yeah, that makes sense, you know? So like the whole thing was sad. Like his village, family, friends being killed or being taken or whatever and destroyed, to Uzoi finding out the truth and that everything was a lie, and then the whole fight with Somali, or the whole chase with Somali and Uzoi, and then like the Golem like giving rationality to what occurred was just amazing. And hearing that story, and then Uzoi, I don't think she necessarily forgives him, but at the same time, it kind of like feels sad, you know. But at the end, well, it was just a beautiful thing. And then seeing Zoe cry, I started crying. Like, I started tearing up. I'm like, girl, you have a strong heart and a strong soul, like, and everything. Like, okay, I think I'm just gonna end this review because I'm like, I'm kind of not blanking on some things, but I gotta like just sit and be like, wow, this was a good episode, you know, and this was a great. I'm so glad I started watching this anime because it's so good, heartwarming. Like this episode being so sad and heartbreaking and everything, and real scary too, because of like the humans being taken and things like that. But also, it was heartwarming. Like this whole show is so heartwarming, and I love it. And that was like the end of the episode was like the Golem standing there with Somali looking at his Zoey and her guardian, whatever, like hugging it out and both crying and everything. And I'm really excited for next episode. But yeah, it was a grand episode again. But what did you guys think about the episode? Leave down in the comments your thoughts about this episode, your thoughts about what I said and everything. Like the video if you liked anything I had to say, or like the video if you liked the episode also, and if you like the show in general so far. And subscribe to the channel for more reviews, vlogs, unboxings, live reactions, and theater discussion videos, and things like that. So, gentlemen, stay classy, ladies, stay sassy, but most important, everybody, you gotta stay a little nasty, alright? So, peace and love, and I will see y'all later in the next video. Peace out, may the force be with you always. And plus ultra, and latum.